Hello, my beautiful, enlightened spiritual warriors. So, just before we get started, I want to do this. I want to show you what's going on out there. So, hold on tight to your dreams. There you go. So, you may or may not know that this was my response to foreclosure. And when I asked Spirit, where do you want me? Over and over and over again, this is what I saw. So I started to look. I started to put that into my consciousness on a daily basis. I started to envision up, because that's what I was seeing. I was seeing up, water, a little skip of land, and the sun going down. So I started to look for that. I looked for the synchronicities in my life that led me to being here. And I live on Native American land, and the person who I brought here to look with me was someone who had lived on Native American land as well. I knew nothing about it, and he and his wife knew everything. So over and over and over again, there were these amazing synchronicities that when you start to look, you'll see many more. So take a nice deep breath, put your hand on your heart, and allow yourself to inhale easily and graciously, to allow yourself to open to all that the universe has for you. So here we are. Hey, Geraldine, nice to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. So, day 4 of Fearless as Fuck. What we have learned, I'm going to do a little recap. But before I do that, I'm going to bring the smudge back and squeeze it out. So day 1, what we did is we looked at, thank you. Day 1, what we did was we looked at fear and how the body responds to fear. And what we found out was that the body response to fear and excitement are extremely similar. And, you know, the heart races, you get kind of nauseous in your tummy, a little sweaty, and that. Probably your blood pressure goes up, you know? So, given that information, hi Paula, hey Monica, given that information, you now are at choice. You're at choice of whether to respond in your conditioned mind way to contract in fear, or whether you're going to take a moment and go, oh, is this a bear or a bus or something that I really need to be afraid of? There are definitely things to fear. You know, you're smart. You're not going to step off the street corner. So then when you decide that, when you take a moment, and putting your hand on your heart is one of the best ways for you to connect no matter what situation you're in. You know, if you're out on a date and you're finding yourself a little nervous, put your hand on your heart. That's that's a scary place. That's a beautiful place to be fearless. So you put your hand on your heart. You take a moment and you go, bear, bus, or whatever else you have deemed as absolutely something you want to fear. And you decide, do I want to expand into excitement and adventure and find out more about this? Or do I want to contract and run away? When you know this, now you have an opportunity to make that decision. You become in control, and we all want that, and you get to come from choice. So that was day 1. Day 2, what we did was we talked about power. And day 1, you wrote 5 of your biggest fears and 10 rewards. Day 2, we talked about power, the power of your voice. We call things into creation all of the time. Oh, I'm going to have a terrible day. And guess what happens? Terrible day. When we become conscious of that and use the power of our voice to truly call in what we want rather than what we don't want, it's like magic. There's a power in time as well. There's a power in spirit. There's a power of your body. You actually taking action, asking for divine guidance. So we talked about the power on day 2. Day 3, we got to the juicy beliefs that we create our lives out of. You know, we're all living, me included, out of beliefs that I got in the first 3 to 5 years. Well, can you imagine that a while's gone by since that? But there we are, living out of this misinformation. And then we make mistakes based on us living from, maybe it's a lower frequency even, from this place that isn't our resonance, that isn't actually us. So that was day 3. Now today in day 4, our final day, what I want to give you some tips about are what's next. Well, part of what's next is for you to begin to put up some protection around you. I have a podcast on protection. I also have a video, and I'll put those, I'll give you links to those. So, and those are a couple of my free resources for you. So you want to walk in protection. Think about it as, think about it as a cosmic egg around you. And that cosmic egg goes 6 feet into the ground because that anchors you. It keeps you grounded no matter what. And the way that you feel safe inside of that is, well, first of all, you envision this big old cosmic egg in front of you. And you actually, once you've got that vision, it's not that difficult. We know what an egg looks like. We can see it suspended in front of us. We can imagine it being big enough for us to walk into. So envision this big old cosmic egg. Walk up to it. Notice that there's a door. And reach out, and somehow magically there's a door handle. And now just go ahead and open that door. And then walk right inside of that cosmic egg. And then turn around and pull that door closed behind you. Hey, Virginia, hop in your egg. So now we're inside of a cosmic egg. Look around. Look around at what you have inside of your cosmic egg that makes you feel safe and protected. You might notice that you've got some crystals. You might notice that it's just a plain old egg. There's nothing inside of it. That part is up to you to create for yourself. So this is the gift of being able to use your imagination and then bring your intuition into what is it that makes me feel safe here? What do I need to make myself feel safe, to make myself feel secure? And then import it into your egg. And if you're just, for me, I don't want any clutter in there. So I have cosmic egg. I'm in there. I'm walking around. My egg goes with me everywhere. And only the highest or best or better permeates through that. So if I know I'm going somewhere and maybe I'm feeling a little bit shy about it, I'll bump out the outside edges of my egg. So when you're in there sensing, do I feel safe? If you do not, bump out the outside edges. And years ago, when things weren't as crazy as they are now, my client's outer edge of her egg was 8 miles thick. It doesn't have to be just a thin membrane. So now you have a way of feeling protected. You can put that egg around your house, around your car, around your kids, around your loved ones, around your trees. You can put that cosmic egg around anything. And as a matter of fact, we could all envision putting the world inside of that cosmic egg. So the world, the whole planet is protected. That was a beautiful visual. So now you know about, so what's next? Now you have something to put up around you so that you're not feeling everyone else's energy. And fear is oftentimes not even our own. We're feeling fear from, what's going on in the world. We're feeling fear from being told that there's not enough, or being fed that there's this and that and outside of us. And, if you look here, all of these things, all of these lines converge on me. And guess what? If I'm not in my protection, chances are when they're all merging on me, I'm going to think they're mine. But they're not. So when you walk in protection, the first thing I'll suggest that you do before you get in your cosmic egg is to smudge yourself. You can use incense, you can use just a candle flame. When you have these practices that you do, and you do them over and over and over again, they become a habit ingrained in us, because the mind can only think one thing at a time. Have you ever noticed that? Try to hold two thoughts at the same time. But when we train ourselves, cosmic egg inside, my whole environment, my car, all of that, and we put all of that in, imagine the amount of peace that goes out into the world. And the opposite of fear, I don't think, is love. I think the opposite of fear is peace. So when we take care of ourselves energetically, when we show other people how to do it as well, don't be shy about this. Spread this around. Let other people know that they can have a cosmic egg. They can get inside it when they're feeling all scared and nervous, like they want to throw up. Because there's a lot of anxiety being created right now. So walk in your egg. So that's the first thing. That's what next. The second piece that I'll give you, that's also about, it's about having a clear environment. You know that a lot of people come home from work, and then they spend 2 or 3 hours commiserating about work. And when my clients tell me that, I ask them, are you getting paid for that? And of course they say no. So now not only have they spent 10 hours of their day at work, they've all added another bit on top of that. So a burden basket is a beautiful thing. You know I love baskets, right? It's in a basket. But you can have burden baskets in your imagination. Outside of your home, the door that most people go through, put a burden basket. Hey, Kim, good to see you. put a burden basket. It can be in your imagination, or you can actually go, you know, it's kind of springy around here. You can go and get a basket. You can put some plants in there. You don't have to. You can just put a basket. You can put a token of a basket there. Hey, Paula. So, because what that does is, and you set your intention. The most important thing throughout this whole week is setting your intention to notice when something happens, do I automatically react? So the intention of this burden basket is that when it's set there, no one's burdens come from outside into your house. Wouldn't that be nice? Can you imagine people coming over and they don't have any burdens? They're just there to have fun. Check it out. Try it out. So it's outside of the door most commonly used. You can fill it up. You can leave it empty. At your workplace, you can put it on in your imagination if you want to, at every door. So everyone walking in. So just imagine this for a moment. Now, everyone, put your hand on your heart for just a little minute. And thank you for doing this with me. Let's imagine every exit, every door going into and out of hospitals. And as a matter of fact, what the heck? Let's just put it right in front of everyone's door, every hospital door, to every patient. So imagine doing this. Hi, Susan. What we're doing is we're putting our hands on our heart, and we're going to send a burden basket to every doorway of every hospital, of every country. And so that when the people walk through those doors, their burdens are dropped. And when they walk out, their burdens are also dropped. So that these burden baskets become bountiful, that they're overflowing, and Mama Earth and the air and the wind and the fire knows what to do with them, transmutes them into white light and sends it to source. Just take a moment and imagine those bazillions of burden baskets, just each individual one, just outside of every door and of every room, whether it's the janitor's room or the bathroom or patient's room, whatever it is. Wouldn't that be awesome? Can you imagine the amount of relief that the people who pass through those doors would have? I feel really good about that. Thank you very much for joining me in doing that. So that's the burden basket. So now you have the cosmic egg for what's after Fearless as Fuck. Your cosmic egg is what's after. The other thing that's after it is the burden basket. So I've just described that to you. I want to talk to you about one particular stone that I love. This is my selenite heart. And in the early days of my soul business, clients would come and they would put their feet, they would put my feet underneath the selenite heart. And the selenite heart for years, like, you know, it's been almost 25 years. In August, it will be 25 years that since I quit my day job and since I've had a soul business. So they would put their money underneath my heart and it would sit on it. And I would say to them, oh, put it underneath my big heart. Now, that had two effects. Selenite promotes peaceful environments. And look at this thing. It's huge. And also, it is heavy, and I know that I have a big heart. You know, if you're doing spirit work, you have a big heart. If you're teaching someone, you have a big heart. So find a way that you recognize it. Find a way that's in your environment that reflects back to you that you know you have a big heart. This, now I've anchored it with fearless as fuck as well. So, you know, it was anchored by money. It's now anchored is in fearless. So, and it promotes peaceful environments. So, one last thing, and this is perhaps a big last thing. So, a couple of days ago, I need a sip. So, a couple of days ago, we looked at beliefs. And a belief is, here's a super simple, I think this is a super simple. An idea becomes a thought. Get an idea? It becomes a thought. When you take action on it and you do that action over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. That habit becomes the way you do things. Oh, that's just the way I do things. It all stemmed from an idea. And we create our lives based on our beliefs. You know, I believe that if I go out there and walk in my bay when the tide is out and it is like super, super sticky, gooey, muddy stuff, I'll get stuck. Now, you know, that's probably a fact as well, but it stops me from going out there. Your beliefs are created to be advantageous in your life, not to hold you back. So if you have something in mind that you desire and you haven't got it, it's because you have a belief that you can't. It's true. When you do the process that I took you through 2 days ago, and you can go back and listen to, and you figure out where it came from and whether it's serving you, create a new belief. And there's a whole process in there, so go and listen. It's about 5 minutes long. You can fast forward or whatever to get to it. But that process allows you to create your priorities, because we live out of our beliefs, never really thinking about our priorities. What are the priorities in my life? And so today, you've got the cosmic egg, you've got the burden basket. You have this ability to sit inside of a beautifully protected environment. So in your imagination, pop your burden basket out there, hop in your cosmic egg, and sit down and write down your priorities. When you know these things, and when someone says, what are your priorities? And you say integrity, honesty, spirituality, living for the highest, living full on, and boom, boom, boom. You know yourself. But if someone says, what are your priorities? You go, well, what about? Being fearless also means being unstoppable. And you're going to get stopped by something unless you take a moment and you think about and live from your beliefs. You might be busting a few. Live from your beliefs and your priorities. There's no room in that kind of a life for a lot of fear. You know, I highly recommend that being fearless requires that you limit your time. I call it the snooze. That you limit your time to a half hour a week. And do it for 3 weeks and see what it feels like. Feel, oh, is this right for me? Or like, yeah, Sheila, but give things, alter, shift things up, because everything is shifting up right now. And when we move into this next adventure of our lives, because truly that's what's happening here. There are more entrepreneurs being birthed right now and in the spiritual field than you can imagine. And ain't it great? And so if you, well, first of all, if you have unique gifts and Verge, thank you for being the pioneer here. And she creates amazing pine needle baskets, deep spirit work. And when you find ways like the cosmic egg, the burden basket, that you actually see these things, you remind yourself, oh, I'm a choice. Do I have to be afraid of this? Or do I get to have another adventure? And upcoming is a whole new adventure. Women are stepping up. Women are stepping out. Women are speaking up. And women are standing out. So thank you for joining me for Fearless as Fuck for 4 days. And go back and have a peek. The first day was all about this, I call it the psychoceramic. The way that we hook things up in our brain, and as soon as we see it, our body immediately responds. So that was day 1, where you wrote out your 5 biggest fears and your 10 rewards. Day 2 was where you looked at the power, all the power that you have, that you probably don't even think about. The power of your voice, the power of your body. Day 3 was looking at your beliefs that are holding you back, or are they moving you forward? And becoming a choice there. So look at all the choices here. Day 1, am I going to respond in a preconditioned way? Day 2, what is my power? Day 3, what are my beliefs? Day 4, what are my priorities? So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking out of this all that you can and using it. Use it. For sure, use it in your life. Be fearless, because more fearless we are, the more love we generate. So let's be fearless. All right. And just to finish this off, let's go ahead and energize our hands and give some love so we can get some. All right, place your hands on your heart. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to open wide. I open freely to give, accept, and embrace all that the universe has for me. Namaste, aho, bliss, and in case no one has told you so far, you are amazing. So you can look for me on Tuesdays. Thanks for all that love. Tuesdays and Thursdays right here. I'll pop on, and if there's something that you want to know about, that you think I might know about, you can drop it in the comments. But I'll be doing some teaching here twice a week. And yeah, so thank you for being my enlightened spiritual warriors. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.